Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Josie's Point of View, where we focus on human interest stories from the Carolinas and beyond. Today it's Monday and it's August 11th, 2025. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you find the information here to be informative. And if you return viewer, by all means, thank you for coming back. You know, I always say the tide changes so frequently here on these YouTube streets. So you always have to acknowledge where your support comes from. And I want you to know I sincerely thank you for your support. So feel free to like, to share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Well, this is a news topic that has been trending over the past several days, and I have to tell you, it's probably getting a bit more attention than it really deserves, but it's happening in my area, and since everybody else is talking about it, we need to be talking about it as well. And our story today comes from the town of Clayton here in North Carolina. Take a look at the headline. And it reads, Local priest arrested for prostitution. I'll provide you with a summary here, and as always, I'll identify some of my sources for you in the description box. You know, every once in a while after I published a story, I get hate mail. And this is probably one of those stories that may generate similar hate mail messages. But keep in mind, these are stories that have already been published by the various news sources, and I'm just repeating those that I think may be of interest to my audience. So the location of this news story is the beautiful parish in the town of Clayton, North Carolina. This church, St. Anne's Catholic Church, long history of service to the community, and most of the online reviews are extremely positive. But today we're not focusing on what takes place inside of St. Anne's Catholic Church, but rather an incident that recently occurred in the church's parking lot. And we're also focusing on a priest at St. Anne's Catholic Church, and this is the picture posted by several news sources. He's identified as 47-year-old Clemente Olveria Guerra, a resident of Smithfield, North Carolina, and a priest, as already mentioned, at St. Anne's Catholic Church. Father Guerrero had been at the church since 2023, and prior to the assignment, he had been assigned to a parish in Mexico. So he had only been here for 2 years. Well, last week, Father Guerrero made the news headline when he was arrested by Raleigh police and charged with prostitution. And police say he arranged to meet a prostitute on his own church grounds early in the morning on August the 5th. And this is what has been reported by various news sources. According to a police report, deputies say the alleged crime occurred around 1 a.m. on August the 5th. Police were in the area searching for a missing child when they noticed a suspicious vehicle on the church premises. As they approached to investigate, apparently a man later identified as Pastor Guerrero attempted to flee the scene. And when he was apprehended, police determined that he was allegedly soliciting sex from a male subject. And that male subject was identified as a 20-year-old sex worker, and he was also found on the church's premises. When questioned, the sex worker stated he had been contacted through an app by Father Guerrero, who invited him to the church. He also stated that the two had already completed an act. They had engaged in intercourse. And so the priest, Father Guerrero, was arrested and charged with one felony count of soliciting prostitution. He was booked into the Johnston County Detention Center, where he was issued a bond, a secured bond of $2,500. It was also reported that a male known to many in the community posted a bond, and that male appeared to have been the previous pastor or another priest who had previously served at St. Anne's Catholic Church. I'm not sure why it mattered who bailed him out. He had to call somebody, and considering the fact that he's a priest, he hasn't been here very long, he probably didn't know anyone else, so he called the person that he knew, and he was able to get out of jail. And I'm sure by daybreak, everybody already knew about it because he had been in jail. He had been bonded out of jail, and the local parish sent a notice to St. Anne's Catholic Church, the congregation, alerting them to as to what had taken place. And this is excerpts from that letter. It says, the diocese received notice this morning of the arrest of Father Clemente Olveria Guerrero on criminal charges connecting to alleged inappropriate behavior with an adult. Upon receiving that information, he was immediately removed from ministry in the Diocese of Raleigh. They kicked him out. They took immediate action. Now, the letter further continues, while Father Clemente deserves a full presumption of innocence until proven otherwise, his priestly duties in the Diocese of Raleigh have been revoked, and he will return to his religious order while this matter is further investigated. So not only did he lose his job, they removed him from from being a priest in St. Anne's Catholic Church. They kind of sending him back to his religious order. At least that's the message they communicated to the congregation. And now, Father Guerrero awaits his day in court, but information on a specific court date was not available at the time this video was completed. And my reaction to this case is probably not what you might expect. Because let's be honest, an arrest for prostitution is probably more common than you realize. But it seems that the increased attention and the reason why we're even discussing this matter is really because a Catholic priest was involved. Had it been the average citizen, this most likely would not even be a topic for conversation, at least not at this level. But let me ask you a question. Just ponder this. Would it have been different if the priest had solicited a woman rather than a man for sex? Would we be disalarmed? Now, I'm just asking a question. I'm definitely not taking sides, nor am I attempting to pass judgment. But at the same time, let's not pretend that this matter is so unique, because we just might be surprised. 2 consenting adults were involved. Again, it's not about passing judgment, but it seems like the real problem was not exactly what the priest was doing, because this probably was not an isolated incident. It's probably him exercising poor judgment by engaging in the act in the church's parking lot, an area where he was seen by police. Now, that's just my thought. But drop me a line and tell me what you think about this story. And that's all I have for you right now. Feel free to leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about this video. And by all means, feel free to like it and to share it. And if you haven't done so already, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel by clicking on that red subscribe button. It's on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And if you click on the bell that looks just like this one, that's the notification bell. If you click on that notification bell, you'll be the first to know whenever a new video is uploaded. I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.